a good show, a good movie, whatever the case may be, yeah, you got to have a good protagonist, but your antagonist matters almost more in some respects than does the protagonist. There needs to be something really legitimate to wrestle with and to fight with. And I don't, and neither of us are disparaging the, hey, trying to learn more about yourself as a character study in this show. But when that's all there was, and it's a 8-episode season, and there wasn't another villain to really come into play, not truly. Rick Flag Sr. is not a true villain. He has some bad turns in this show, but we could almost pick some more nits there and go, that seemed more out of character than anything else. Like, would either you or I have been surprised if towards the end of the season, all of a sudden we realize, oh, Rick Flag is being mind controlled, or he's being impersonated by Clayface, right? Like, his actions were rushed, I would say. Like, I didn't feel like that was a very organic approach. I understand the end result of, okay, he's trying to punish Peacemaker because of what Peacemaker did to his son, but how we got there, it's like, does he really need to, like, buddy with Lex Luthor for this? That's really where we're at?
Yeah, it was definitely a weird...
I'm going down a rabbit trail here, but...
No, it was a... Well, we're on it, though. It was a weird turn, and it didn't make sense, and then when you get to the end there, and Peacemaker is now on the Salvation...
Yep.
And he's saying his spiel, like, that sounded like him for sure. But, like, that last episode, or two... Yeah, pretty much the last episode.
Episode and a half, yeah.
That didn't feel right at all compared to what we got from Creature Commandos.
Yep.
And to me, it
seems... And even
seems...
what you saw of him, not a lot, but some in Superman.
Right.
He was very Superman empathetic, metahuman empathetic, even.
Yeah, so I'm sure they'll explore that in Man of Tomorrow, would be my guess. But if you think about like that, to me, Clayface being the guy here almost seems like, okay, you just use Clayface again. Like, we've used Clayface a couple of times now.
Yep.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love Clayface, and I'm a champion of having Batman versus Clayface, because it needs to happen.
Yep.
This is not where I want Clayface.
Yep.
I don't. So maybe there's some form of hypnotism going on, or mental suggestion, but...
No, I don't think there was, and that's the problem, is I think it was just, we kind of lost hold of who this character is for some reason. And that's a rare, I'm just going to designate it as a misstep by James Gunn. He's usually pretty firm on, with these different characters, who they are and who they are not. And so this seemed like an odd, just an odd pivot,
and I think,
with the character of Rick Flag Sr.
I think he's got something planned on why that is the case. So I don't think that's just Rick Flag being Rick Flag. I think something is going on there. But I feel like it's
certainly
weird.
Possible.
I feel like it's weird not to like allude to that more, other than the fact that you're like, this seems off.
Yep.
To the thing, to the point where his political helper is like,
right.
Who are you?
Right.
Essentially. So
just the transparent partnership with Lex Luthor and his cronies is so out of character for Rick Flag Sr. It's like, what on earth has happened that would compel you to link arms with these goons?
He was letting them do cocaine.
Right? It's like, what are we... Yeah. That's
so
weird at best.
But if you think about all of season 2, though, that last episode feels weird.
Yes.
Like, that does not belong there at all, and it should have ended the last episode prior.
Yep.
And then that should have been your start to season 3, or you find some way to bust him at the end of season 2, and then you throw him in there or something. But that last episode felt very forced. There's no build to it.
No.
All of a sudden, they're just... Like, where does the idea come from where he's like, okay, now we have access to these dimensional doors. Let's find this uninhabited planet for a... Like, it just is such a long dive out of nowhere where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because even
Agreed.
in Superman, obviously Lex uses the pocket dimension that he's created, and it is unstable, but he's using it to trap everyone.
Right.
So essentially, it's just that, but more stable. And it's like, this just has Lex written all over it again, but at the same time, like, you're just doing the same thing already. Like, we're already having to reinvent the wheel again.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, James Gunn has obviously done a lot very well up to this point. To me, I would love to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, he's got something in the works. But I can't get there. I think it's possible. I think what's more likely is that this is an example of where James Gunn is trying to do all of the things. He's trying to be the overlord of the DC universe, and then he's trying to write and direct multiple shows and movies. And the temptation when you have success is that instead of keeping your support team in place that helps kind of keep you within the boundaries, that support team scales back and says, oh, you can just do no wrong, we better just let you cook. And the reality is, like, we all need, especially in this creative sphere, you need those boundaries to help kind of just frankly keep you online. Like, that last episode felt like James just got weird. Like, it didn't feel not James Gunn. It just felt ill-fitting. But for season 2 of Peacemaker, it felt to me like somebody needed to step in and go, hey, time out. There's parts here. How do they all fit? How is this a cohesive ending to this season? It just felt too unhinged.
However, it wasn't like James Gunn weird, though. It was just weird. Like, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Or fit.
No, it didn't.
Like, it was just... That's the confusing part. Because, we can agree, James Gunn has his little weird outlets. Creature Commandos is a prime example here. However,
but at least it fits.
Right. Yeah. And they had a solid ending that made sense, and I was cool with it. But this is just... It feels like he's trying to set up Man of Tomorrow without setting up Man of Tomorrow, which he said he was setting it up in that. Mm-hmm. But why here? Mm-hmm. And then he also made the statement, like, we're not going to get Peacemaker Season 3, probably.
Yeah, instead you're going to see Checkmate, and we can get into that. I think this is an opportunity where hopefully some lessons are learned on the production side. Because one of the original ending of this season was not supposed to include the scene where Peacemaker gets thrown into salvation. That was added after they had originally said, okay, I think we got it. And then James Gunn and his co-lead, right, Peter Safran, collaborated and said, you know what, actually we need to throw this in there. And so that's a very different ending if you don't include that final sequence.
I guess we wait and see how they pull it off, and that won't be till Man of Tomorrow because I don't know. Yeah. I feel like they got some ways to work with it to make this actually make sense.